Hi, welcome to this video. I'm Rebecca, and I'm here to show you how to modify the constant contact that we use on a regular basis at St. Paul's in order to send out a newsletter on Thursday and send out a worship reminder on Saturday morning. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to look at uh, the access page for Constant Contact. You'll see on your screen that we are on the logon page. So you'll be, the information for how to get here and how to log in will be provided to you, but let's go ahead and log in. Once we've logged in, you're going to see that we're on kind of a landing page. Uh, got a slow computer, really slow today. Okay, and this page is going to be, I think it's your home page. So it tells you a few things, how many contacts we have. If you need to add somebody who's registered, you can add them here. Tells you what our click rate is, how our growth is going. And this social audience growth is about our connection between when social media sends somebody to subscribe, I believe. I don't really know. Okay, so you're going to scroll down and you're going to see below that all of our recent campaigns. You see that there's a button on your right that says copy. And what I historically have done is between the news from St. Paul's and the worship with St. Paul's, you have templates for every Thursday and every Sunday. So what I do is just copy the previous week's newsletter. So you see that then you have to rename it. And so I generally just rename it for the date that we currently are at. News from St. Paul's, and this one is going to go out next Thursday, which is January 9th, 2025. So once I've made that, it's going to open up a new template for me. Of course, it's going to look like last week's. And so if you're using last week's, you're going to be looking at the prior one. But if you make any changes, it will now be changed to the new copy. So every kind of liturgical season or new month, I change out some of the features of the newsletter so that people can visually see we're in a change. But since this is January the 9th, I am not going to change anything from last week. So the first thing you see on this row is the date. And so you can just take your cursor and move it to where you want to change it. You also see the issue. And this is the second week of the year. So we're changing it to issue 2. The first thing on the newsletter is an essay, and that depends on whether the person in charge wants to write an essay or if you've received content that you have been told to share. Then you'll see, I'm just giving you the overall concept. The next thing that we generally do is make an advertisement for upcoming events for this week or for Sunday. So we had a big snowstorm. So you see we have a meal and then word about the coming Sunday, which was that we actually didn't do any church. And then frequently we do something that's just sort of nice for people to see about what's been going on at the church. So pictures and stuff get uploaded. After that, we have announcements that are for upcoming events and birthdays, anniversaries, news about people. Then we have volunteer opportunities. And then at the end of the kind of church materials is prayer requests where people can pray. Now, there could be a section right here that would also be diocesan news, news in our wider church community. At the moment, I haven't added anything, but on another, for this coming week, I will be adding something that is a church-wide event for our diocese. If you don't know what a diocese is, it's basically a collection of churches in a region, and we are a part of the Diocese of Missouri, Episcopal Diocese of Missouri. At the bottom is always the list of Sunday leaders for the upcoming Sunday. So that's what you see here. And these are all things that you are going to be modifying. Now, let's just presume that you do have some sort of essay that's been given, what you're going to do is change the title by just clicking on that block and writing it in. Now you'll see that this is, since it's a title, you might want to do something special with it. So see above here, follow my little cursor, and you'll see that these are ways you can modify the text. And they're pretty self-evident, pretty familiar to you probably from your time working in any kind of word processing. But right here, you see this thing, and that's not necessarily very intuitive. But when you click on it, you see that you can make this paragraph style headline. And then, so if you made this headline 1, it gets bigger. If you make it headline 3, it gets smaller. You can do stuff with this. So what I generally do is for a headline, I put it all in caps, and then I make sure that it is headline 3. If I put that into paragraph, it just takes out the block. I mean, it's kind of, you can mess with it, but anyway, so know what you're doing here. That's ways you can change out. So it helps with formatting. Say you wanted to make sure every headline is the same, then you would just go to that headline thing and make it the same. Okay, so then you want to cut and paste. Say you want to change up your picture, you'll go up here and hit replace. And then you're going to either upload pictures from your desktop, or you can select something. Let's say we're doing an essay on the calendar. Well, if you want to search calendar, you'll see what other pictures are already up here for calendar. And so you might say, oh, I'm going to do that one. Boom, you got it. Just stick it in there. Now, if you're like, it's so fat, let me make it more narrow. Then you can come back, you can click it, right? Come back, and it's slow, but eventually you're going to see your calendar right here. Oh, sometimes you have to be patient. There it is. Okay. And then you can click edit. Edit's going to pull up some features. This program uses Canva. And so you can use all of the features of Canva to change this if you wanted to add text, if you wanted to crop it. And you probably are a lot better at this stuff than I am, so you might want to really go crazy and do new things. But for me, I'm just basically going to make this smaller. So I'm just deciding that I'm going to make it like that. And then I'm going to export it. When you export it, it goes back to the newsletter and sticks your picture in there. It's just that my computer is slow. So, okay, so there's your modified image. You hit insert and there you go. Okay, so now this section is the previous essay. You don't really want to have to type over that. There's no point in cutting and pasting it. You can just delete it. And then over here on the left-hand side, you see that you have buttons that give you different things. Say you wanted to add another picture, you can just drag it over and drop it. Say you want to put the essay in, you drag it over and you drop it. Hopefully that's pretty intuitive. Same deal here. Say you want to advertise something different. We're not having this meal this week, so I'm going to delete that image. But let's say we were having a chili cook-off. I would take image, bring it here, add a picture about chili cook-off. Well, do we have one? No idea. Let's check. Sometimes if you don't, if you've typed too many words, you don't get much. So you might want to just do chili, see what you get. Oh, lo and behold, chili cook-off. Let's use that one. Now, some of these images I started using before AI came out, and we have had one time where we got a bill for using an image like this without permission. So if I were you, I probably would be cautious about using pictures that are clearly stolen off of Google Image, which that one is. So I'm going to replace that one. However, if you see a a poster or something like that that you could use, then go for it. So let's go back to Chili Cook-Off using just the word chili. And we have St. Paul's Chili Cook-Off. Now, say you want to use this, but you can tell that the date is messed up or you don't want this, right? You could edit it so that you get rid of the dates and the time and the location so that it's just this square. Or you can erase this using the paint feature and then just cover it up, right? Covered up. It's not going to be perfect, but you know what? We aren't going for perfect. We're just going for adequate. So you can do that. Then you can go and insert text that you want, drag it down a little bit, change the color. And let's say January 15. Woo! And of course, add your time and all that stuff. Then you can export this and insert it. Boom. Okay. Of course, you'll change this. All right, so that kind of gives you a sense of the fundamentals. This little doodig is a divider, and you see it over here, divider. You're just going to drag that over. I like to modify it to make it thicker, so you make it thicker by hitting the numbers on that left-hand side. If you want it to go all the way in, or you want to bring it in a little bit, if you want it to be more narrow, you could do that. Just keep track of what number you're using so you can be consistent. And then, of course, you can change the color. So I've been using black, so I put in another black line. Okay. You can also change the amount of space between the divider and the next word. Another way to change the spacing is to add a spacer. So that little spacer kind of gives us a little more space between the bar and the words. So there's two ways to basically do that. You can modify your divider, add more space this way, or you can put the spacer like that. Sometimes the spacers help if you're trying to do a side by side as well. Okay, scenes from Christmas Day, you're uploading pictures. Let's upload a picture so you can see how to do that. Let's add another. Let's replace this and add another. We're going to upload a picture now. Okay, so we hit upload in the image area, and then we're browsing the computer. I keep all of my graphics in a file on my in my work files under graphics. And then you'll have a copy of this. It is on the Office Google Drive, and it says graphics. So you'll go there. You might want to download that file onto your computer instead of having it in Google Drive, because this platform does not interact with Google Drive whatsoever. So you're going to need to have those files somewhere else on your desktop, on a drive on your desk. Okay, but go to anything you want here. Some of these are seasonal. You see Lent, you see leaders. Leaders are pictures of people who are in charge at the church. Some of these you might want to delete because they're not relevant, but anything that's like Easter, diocese, when you open diocese, you're going to see that there are, some of these don't open right now because this computer is so flipping old. But anyway, on your computer, those will open. Um, Anyhow, so let's just pick out, let's put a picture of my dog. Okay. Oh, my dogs, they're so cute. Okay, so we're going to open this, put them on, because everybody likes a cute picture of dogs on the newsletter. So we're adding those. Okay, so they upload. When you have upload, you're going to upload more. You want to browse more files. See down here on the lower right how it says browse more files. You can put as many as you want. When you're ready, you hit done. And all of those images will come up onto your Constant Contact image library. Uh-oh, they're upside down. Let's fix it. Click Edit. We go to Canva. we go to transform and you see the little swirlies. Okay, and there they are, looking so cute. Okay. And then we're done. We hit insert. It goes to the library and we insert the image. Okay. So same down here, you've got some scenes from last Sunday. Somebody emailed them to you. You put them on the newsletter. All right. So this is basically pretty straightforward. You can just see that if you want to change anything, you click it, you can replace it, you can add a picture by dragging a picture over, you can add a divider by adding a divider. So let's say that you need to add a video. You drag a video over here and you click it and then you edit it. At this point, you can do any number of videos. Let's say we want to do a video from last Sunday. You go to Google. Let's just do it. I suppose we might as well. Oh, excuse me, YouTube. We go to YouTube. We're going to share a video. All right. Year in review. Oh, everybody's going to want to hear this. All right. We're going to, okay, we're going to share, copy it, close it, and we're going to put it right here. Cowabunga. Paste it. You can see the preview, and then you're going to insert it. Okay. Lo and behold, there is your video. So we use this primarily to put in images from a sermon or the annual meeting or something like that. So in another video, we'll talk about our YouTube page for Carondelet Church. Okay, so this is probably drinking out of a fire hose. I want to just tell you one more thing. Everything else here is pretty straightforward. This situation is from a Google Doc. There's a Google Doc called Lectors and Prayers, and it tells you who's on the rotation for leadership at the church. So when you're ready for that, you can talk to Sybil Fisher or whoever your boss is to find out how to do that. Most likely we'll just have a printed page for you to use that you can refer to. So I think that's it for now. One last thing, I guess, is if you want to change the color, say it's now February, March, April, May, you want to change the color every month. So you're going to go here, you click the settings, you go to the paint, and then you can pick any color you want and it'll change. Just as long as it's different from the month before. There are liturgical colors that we use at church. During Lent, we use purple. During Pentecost, we use red. So there are things like that, and you can check with your supervisor to see if he or she wants you to do that. But that's basically the gist. Say you've changed this now and it's yellow, and we've changed this one and it's yellow. Well, suddenly when you've done yellow, you cannot read your text. So you'll go into that section. And when you do, you'll see up here that there is a color choice. And then you can change it so that it is black. All right. You might want to watch this a few times. I know this is a lot, but I hope it gave you a good start on how to use the newsletter. Your goal is really to support the congregation so that when they read this, they feel attracted, they feel welcome and informed. But we also send out newsletters to people all around the world. Like this newsletter goes to Kenya, to Canada, to Kentucky, New Hampshire, Arizona, people who support our church who aren't necessarily in St. Louis. And so please keep that in mind, that if there's pictures that you just like you saw a pretty flower on the way into the church, or you heard somebody tell a story. Put that in there. Even if it's your writing, you're welcome to write. But if it's someone else's, noteworthy things to celebrate. Celebrate what you can celebrate and make sure to ask your supervisor to give you things to celebrate. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. And now I will try to end the recording. I guess I'm just going to end and hope it saves.